Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine discovering a kind of hidden source for incredible energy, maybe sustained focus, and just a profound sense of inner well-being.
Yeah, like a shortcut almost.
Exactly. Today, we're doing a deep dive into an ancient concept that, well, it's often misunderstood: Brahmacharya.
Definitely misunderstood.
Our source materials is a really rich collection of writings from Swami Sivananda, especially his work Practice of Brahmacharya.
A classic text on the subject.
Right, and our mission here is basically to distill the most important nuggets, helping you grasp its true meaning and, maybe surprisingly, its relevance for your life today.
Okay, so what's really fascinating, I think, is that Sivananda makes it incredibly clear Brahmacharya is way more than just celibacy.
That's the common misconception, isn't it?
Totally. He describes it as this holistic purity in thought, word, and deed. It's a whole way of life, really, aimed at achieving higher consciousness.
A whole way of life. Okay.
And the texts really emphasize its paramount importance. They state it's the basis for health and longevity, and of all success in the physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual planes. Quite a claim.
That is a big claim. Health, success, everything.
Pretty much. It's believed to transform what's called virya. Think of it as this fundamental vital energy or life force.
Okay, virya.
Into ojasakti. Now, ojas is like this refined spiritual energy, supposedly stored in the brain.
Stored in the brain. Interesting.
Yeah. And Sivananda claims this transformation grants, and I quote, tremendous mental work, lustrous eyes, and a magnetic aura. Basically, a powerful, clear presence.
Wow. Lustrous eyes and a magnetic aura.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
But conversely, the source links various diseases, physical weakness, even mental issues, to the heavy loss of this vital fluid. Even uses this provocative phrase, youth with bloodless faces.
Oof, bloodless faces, that's stark. So if it's not just suppressing urges, what does this act of transformation, this sex sublimation the texts talk about, actually mean for us? How do you do that?
Right, that's the key distinction. Sivananda defines sublimation not as repression, which can be harmful, but as a positive, dynamic process. It's about rechanneling that powerful, creative life force.
Rechanneling.
Into other, maybe more refined pursuits. Things like deep study, artistic creation, or even selfless service. It's turning a raw impulse into a highly productive drive.
Okay, that makes more sense than just stop thinking about it.
Exactly. And to help with this, the texts outline several practical steps. They advocate for a sattvic diet.
Sattvic meaning?
Promoting clarity and calmness. So things like milk and fruits are seen as beneficial, whereas salt, onions, meat, they're considered unfavorable because they're stimulating, potentially agitating.
Okay. Diet matters. What else?
Fasting is also mentioned. Then there's satsanga.
Good company.
Good company, exactly. The people you surround yourself with really influence your thoughts.
Yeah.
And viveka.
Discrimination.
Discrimination. Not in the negative sense. It's about discerning what truly serves your higher self. Even viewing the physical body analytically, he uses terms like flesh, blood, bone, excreta, to kind of reduce attachment to it.
Detaching from the purely physical.
Precisely. And that connects to vairagya, which is detachment from worldly desires. Plus, using positive autosuggestion to reinforce the mental state you want.
And what about people who aren't monks? Householders.
A good point. For householders, it's framed differently. Not strict celibacy, but moderation. Using physical intimacy primarily for progeny and really fostering a spiritual partnership with your spouse.
Okay, moderation and spiritual partnership. Now, you mentioned Sivananda could be provocative.
Ah, yes. Here's where it gets, well, quite pointed.
Go on.
The source offers a pretty unflinching critique of what it calls modern society, specifically for its, quote, ignorance and vile imitation of Western norms.
Okay.
And Sivananda links this directly to what he terms racial degeneration. Now, obviously, we need to be clear. We're reporting the source's viewpoint here. We're not endorsing it.
Understood. Just presenting the text. But how does he connect those strong societal claims back to Brahmacharya specifically?
Well, he argues that things like artificial birth control, from his perspective, sap energy, and fundamentally go against this natural order of conserving vital force.
Okay, so it's about energy conservation again.
Exactly. He views self-restraint as the only effective permanent cure, even for things like population control. He contrasts this sharply with what he calls a foolish argument of the Epicureans, basically those who promote indulgence without thinking about self-control.
So for him, the societal issues he saw were tied directly to abandoning these principles.
Directly tied to losing touch with vital energy conservation. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But this concept, Brahmacharya, it clearly isn't new, right? Where does Sivananda trace its roots?
Oh, absolutely not new. He traces it way back to ancient Vedic times. And he finds strong parallels in, say, Buddha's teachings and even within Christian monastic traditions. It's not just an Indian idea.
So it pops up across cultures.
Definitely. He points to figures like Hanuman, Lakshmana, and Bhishma from the Indian epics as embodying its power through their discipline. He really frames it as a global heritage.
Like global heritage, I like that.
And he uses this fascinating metaphor too, suggesting we view the human body as a mansion of 9 gates.
9 gates.
Yeah, and the provocative idea here is that the lower 2 gates, in his view, are primarily for drainage. It's a way to recontextualize desire, encouraging a different relationship with our physical impulses.
Shifting the perspective on the body's functions.
Exactly, which leads to the ultimate goal, really. The deep dive encourages changing our drishti.
Drishti. That means angle of vision, right?
Angle of vision, yes. Moving away from what he calls gross body consciousness. It suggests cultivating a different perception of others, especially women.
How so?
Not looking through a lustful look, but cultivating mother-bhav.
Or Atma-bhav.
Mother-bhav, Atma-bhav. Seeing the motherly, nurturing aspect, or seeing the Atman, the divine or universal essence within them, rather than just focusing on the physical form. A non-physical, reverent perception.
So shifting from objectification to seeing the divine within.
That's the essence of.
Okay, so Brahmacharya, as Sivananda presents it, really emerges as this profound principle for, well, energy conservation, character building, elevating consciousness.
All deeply rooted in ancient wisdom.
And surprisingly, maybe offering powerful insights into health, focus, spiritual strength, stuff that feels incredibly relevant today.
Absolutely.
So the question for you, the listener, might be, what old ideas or maybe limited definitions are you clinging to? Things that might be preventing a similar deep dive into your own potential for health, focus, and a more fulfilling life.
Yeah, worth pondering.
Consider how even a small shift in your drishti, your angle of vision, could potentially transform your own understanding of energy and fulfillment.